Oh, I think we're live.
Oh my God.
All right. Welcome to the Papercut reunion episode talking about Leigh Bardugo's new novel, Rule of Wolves. I am joined by these two who I will let introduce themselves if you somehow don't know them, which would be insane because they're the coolest and we've done this many times before. Take it away, Kat. And also, maybe tell us a little bit about Rule of Wolves and what this book is about. Good luck.
Okay, right. I'm Kat from Paperbackdreams. This is Rule of Wolves. It's the sequel to King of Scars, and that is a duology that is about Nikolai, our king, kind of, and lots of things happen. It's a sequel. I don't know. Can I give things away? Probably not. I'll be quiet.
I feel like at this point, because it's been out for a few months, we're just gonna go with spoilers, and also it's not good. So
that's fair. It is not good. Zoya's a dragon. I forgot about that.
Yep. All right, Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy from the YouTube channel WithCindy. It's been so long that I dropped read from my username just to commemorate how it's been so long since we've done a Papercut live show. It didn't feel right to have read in my name anymore. And yeah, just to continue off the synopsis that Kat made, we follow Nikolai. Oh, sorry. I'm making lunch right now, so excuse the sounds. We follow Nikolai and Zoya as they grapple with meeting someone that we thought was allegedly dead, but is not actually dead.
We're spoiling. It was the Darkling. It was the Darkling. That's who, yeah.
Leigh Bardugo was like, let me bring back the Darkling just so that I can remind everyone what a piece of shit he was, because for some reason people didn't get the memo the first time around. So now I had to make it even more obvious. But then also kind of try to give him a redemption arc, but like, I don't know, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that was a whole, we'll get there. We'll get there. We're going to talk about all the perspectives because there are many for reasons. So yeah, so not only do we follow Nikolai and Zoya, but we also follow Nina from the Six of Crows duology as she is hanging out in the ice court doing nothing for most of it. And then we also have the Darkling's perspective, and in the first book, there was Isaac's perspective in the second half, who was basically pretending to be Nikolai, and he got assassinated. And so we followed the assassin for a little bit, and she's from the Shuhan. And that is it. That's the book. So yeah, so we're going to talk about it. I guess I'll start with overall thoughts. Did you guys enjoy it?
Kind of.
I thought it was, oh, sorry, Kat, go ahead.
I mean, like, okay, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Like, I was screaming left and right when things were happening, especially in the second half, because like, I wasn't expecting to feel, but I felt hard. However, I don't think it's a really great book or installment in the Grishaverse. I wouldn't put this at the top of any lists or really say that it's a good thing to read if you're not married to the characters. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of feel similarly, which is a shame because I actually saw a lot of people being super into the book. So I thought, like, some people were saying that this was like Leigh Bardugo's best book yet. So I was like, oh, wow, maybe she really changed the game here. But I don't know. I kind of felt all right throughout the book. Like, it was okay, but I still don't think it was really needed, you know? I don't know. I kind of agree with Kat where you have to be super invested in the characters for you to like just enjoy seeing them at all. Like just seeing them on the page would make you happy. That's specifically what this book is for. But I feel pretty much like in the middle about it, where if I had to give it a rating, I would probably give it 3 stars.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me as well, it definitely wasn't the worst of the Grishaverse. I think it was quite a big improvement from King of Scars, because that book was unenjoyable to read and then also just incredibly forgettable. This, at least, I had a little bit more fun reading. The beginning was a bit, I was like, where are we going with this, lady? And then in the middle, I was like kind of hooked in. There was some stuff going on, but I still didn't feel like there was a lot of drive pushing the story forward. But in the end, I just felt like it was very melodramatic and over the top, and I didn't feel like it built to a satisfying conclusion. And we'll go with that.
Well, there was no conclusion.
Yeah.
I think, oh, well, there was a conclusion, but I also think it served to lead to a potential, like, more books, you know? Are they necessary? Probably not, but Leigh Bardugo is trying to get her coin, and I will always support that. Like, she knows she can make bank with the Grishaverse, so can't hate her for that. And I think I was kind of excited for, like, the little cliffhanger that they put up, because those specific characters that she's hinting at for making a new book, like, I'm more excited about that. Like, if we had to read more books from the Grishaverse, like, I would want to read more about them.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you say that, because I kind of feel like it was the reverse for me, where I read this. I think it took me like over a month to read this book. Like, I would read this book in chunks, and then like there would be several weeks where like I just didn't read it at all, and then I would have to pick it up again and try to remember what happened. And so I just remember not really being engaged in the beginning and in the middle. And then I read like the last 50 pages last night, and I was more into it. And I think maybe it's because like more stuff happened. We did kind of have a conclusion. Like, she did wrap things up. Was it very dramatic? Yeah, but that helped wake me up.
I agree that I had the same experience. I read the last, like, I don't even know, a lot of it last night, and I was into it. Yeah, it was dramatic, but like, I live for the drama.
Yeah, like, might as well give us the drama. You know, if you're gonna make a book and it doesn't need to be a book, just
600 pages. So like,
it didn't. Dude, honestly, it didn't need to be 600 pages.
Oh my God, no. Like, for the first, honestly, like most of the first half, I was kind of sitting there and I was like, and we're doing this for what now? And by the end, yeah, it was melodramatic, but like, at least shit was happening, and I liked that.
Can I just read a little chunk of the like final bit? It's like, because I get what you're saying, but like, listen to this. Is this necessary? Zoya stood. She raised the scepter in her hand. She listened to the people cheer, watched her dragon banner wrought in Ravka's pale blue and gold unfurl. The task before her felt overwhelming. None of this had been fated, none of it foretold. There had been no prophecies of a demon king or a dragon queen, a one-eyed tailor, heartrender twins. They were just the people who had shown up and managed to survive. But maybe that was the trick of it. To survive, to dare to stay alive, to forge your own hope, and then when all hope had run out. For the survivors then, Zoya whispered to herself as the people before her knelt and chanted her name. And for the lost. Come on.
It is very dramatic, but I think it makes sense because she's trying to like conclude a whole ass duology and a whole ass like series. And the writing style is similar to like what, like there was this monologue that she had for Inej too, you know, like about the Forgotten Girls or something like that. So I see it as like a similar language that she was trying to do with Zoya, where she was trying to be like just as impactful. And so I don't know, I feel like it could hit, like if you were already invested, you'd be like, oh my God, wow, period, facts, you know?
I think that's the issue is like none of the characters, it just didn't feel deserved, because the characters in the Six of Crows duology all felt so, like they all had such a beautiful character arc, and so it built to something and it felt like deserved getting those moments. Whereas this, like, I don't think in this duology we got that much character development from anyone. So it just felt like over the top to me, you know?
I was just excited that Zoya was a queen. So when she was standing up there with her like little cape and shit, I was like, I'm
excited that Zoya is a queen, because I feel like that's a very dramatic way of like finally concluding her character arc, and like she can, I don't know, because she's like a badass, you know, so I'm happy for her. But I also wonder, like, I don't know, it kind of felt like it was so easy for her to be the queen. because like she turns into a dragon, and everyone thinks she's like amazing now, and that's how she gets the role. I don't know. It seemed too
I mean,
easy.
she's a motherfucking dragon. I would.
It's like, are you gonna argue with a dragon? Like, someone's like, "Hey, that dragon's the queen now," and you're like, "Well, guess I have to accept it. I don't want to get roasted."
No, yeah, a dragon queen, like.
Except it's not fire; it's lightning, baby.
I don't pay attention to the details. All I'm saying is, hot.
She's not like other dragons.
I just think
lightning.
After reading, because I read City of Brass, like basically right before I read this duology or whatever, this book. And like the politics in that are very good. And then the politics in this are very bad. So it was just like even more stark, I think, which made me dislike it more. How like rudimentary the politics are. If you can even call it that. It's not. They don't do politics. They're like, instead of politics, we're gonna do going off on an adventure to Kerch and stealing titanium. Who needs a king in the capital doing politics? Certainly not Ravka.
I'm like low-key too dumb for fantasy politics, so I kind of
same here. But
that
side quest was definitely for just to show a little cameo of Kaz and Jesper and Wylan.
Oh yeah.
Give it to the fangirls.
Moment. Can we talk about Jesper and Wylan for a second? Because
no, I did like it. I did like it.
It was beautiful.
Do I think it made story sense for them to be there? No.
But
did I love seeing them?
Yes.
So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when we started to get cameos with like Alina and Mal, I was like, fuck this shit. I thought we were done with these stale bitches. I didn't come here for this bullshit. And then when she started to bring in the crows, I was like, I'll take the fan service. I don't even care. Does it make sense? No, but I don't give a fuck. I just want to see my children happy or like thriving or whatever. I don't know.
I was only into the fan service like right at the very end when Inez showed up. Because like Alina,
I almost cried.
Yeah, Alina and Mal showed up, and I was okay with that because I'm still watching the Netflix series, so I saw them in my mind. So I was like, all right, cool. Like maybe they'll do more in this book. And then like Kaz and the others showed up. I felt like it was just fan service, so it didn't really like do anything for me. But then when Inez showed up, like I'm just biased towards her. But I do think that with the way that Leigh Bardugo left off the book, it kind of makes sense now for Cass and the others to have a cameo in the middle, because then at least like it feels kind of more purposeful, where if you for some reason were not familiar with Six of Crows while reading this duology, you could be like, oh, so Kaz and Inez and the others are going to possibly get back together.
Yeah, I agree.
But not Nina.
Dude, no, she better find a way, dude. Because if the group doesn't have Nina, I'm gonna be so sad.
Why was Nina in this duology? Is what I want to know.
Well, because she got paid so dirty in the ending of Crooked Kingdom, so Leigh Bardugo was like, "Let me give her a little storyline."
That's a reason we want to see her happy.
Well, she is kind of happy in the end. Like she got.
I have a lot of feelings. I don't know. I don't even know what my feelings are about her entire story arc in this duology. I don't think I care to really unpack it all. But in the end, now that she's happy, I'm good. I'm chilling.
This different story arc. My issue is that in the first book, it felt like such a weird, random side quest. And then in this one, it was like literally, what is she doing? Like literally, she's just chilling in the court, doing a couple spy things. Only one of them actually kind of she did something. The other one was for naught. And then in the end, they didn't actually need to prove, like none of it came to be meaningful in any possible way. You know?
The part was when she somehow got on the dragon with Zoya and then they flew to the battle and then Zoya like fucked shit up and then Nina was like, okay, I'm done here. Take me back. And I was like, oh, what? Why were you there?
Just wanted to be included.
I just wanted to be present, but I'm not actually gonna do anything. Okay.
That's like
Lord.
ordering an Uber to go somewhere, and then when you get to your destination, you're like, actually, can you take me back?
Yeah, literally.
It's like, what was the point?
I get a little.
I kind of feel like there was more potential for her storyline in the beginning of King of Scars because, like, my interpretation with her point of view being added was like, we had gotten so used to her storyline being interwoven with Matthias that now we could finally see her like kind of like find herself again and learn about herself again, like independently from Matthias. But then I don't know, it kind of like turned into just her standing on the sidelines, and most of her story was like revolved around like this new love interest rather than like being more I don't know, independent, but also integral to the storyline. So I think that kind of got lost in the process.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I feel like, I don't know. I understand. I don't even know. No, I was going to say, I kind of understand like why she wanted to include Nina. But like, yeah, she didn't, I feel like she didn't, but her arc didn't really go anywhere, like character-wise. You know, she just like went from falling in love with Matthias to falling in love with Hannah. And yeah, and it like I just feel like she didn't grow that much, which I think is the issue with the book that I had, or the books, is Six of Crows felt very contained and it allowed for the characters to have this growth, whereas there's so much jumping around, like, and it's like these epic things. Like, that's what I liked about the heist story, and where I think Lee really got to shine was because it was more focused on like the little reveals, which she's really good. And I actually want to talk about that with like, yeah, the surprises and twists and little reveals and the kind of witty dialogue. But also like really focusing in on the characters. Whereas with this, like, she's not good at politics. She's not good at writing politics. And so she's trying to do this massive political war thing with people all over the planet. And like, just, it was too much. So the characters kind of got thrown to the wayside, I think. And it was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I think you make a lot of great points. I remember seeing a tweet that was saying something along the lines of like how not every fantasy needs to be so grand where like you don't need to feel like you have to save the world or save a kingdom or whatever. Like it can be something like a group of characters having a really bad day or something like that. So that's a good point about like, yeah, I think she was trying to do too much. And maybe I'm also biased too, because I don't really care about politics in fantasy that much, or about like saving the kingdom or saving the world. So that definitely played into like that not, you know, capturing my interest. There was a comment, I'm the only one who disliked the fact that Zoya's kind of overpowered at the end. I didn't mind that because Zoya's already a badass. So I was like, well, might as well make her go all the way.
I didn't really mind it either, but I also was reading through some Goodreads reviews, and a lot of people were bringing up like the fact that throughout the entire series, but also this book, like Lee goes off on a lot of tangents that remind us that like Grisha is like a small science and it's all about balance, and then Zoya doesn't really have.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I didn't think about that, and so when I read it, I was like, you're kind of right. But
so that was a lie.
It's low-key a lie because she has a dragon inside her or something, which I also understand, because if she has the dragon, then other people who have amplifiers are also can turn into animals, ? Like, I don't get it.
She's never been that good at world building, especially with the magic system. But yeah, I also didn't like the fact, just talking about how the Zoya overpowered thing, I didn't like the fact that in King of Scars, she absolutely broke the magic system with Zoya and the dragon and her being able to do big bad power and all of that. And then her solution was like, oh wait, I broke my magic system. Shit. I guess Zoya will just not use it because she's too stubborn and doesn't want to. Huh? Your country's at war. Zoya is this strategist, this general, willing to lay down her life or whatever. And she's just like, nope, not gonna do it because I don't want to be emotional. Huh? Like, what? What? That was the solution? I was like, okay. And then in the end she's just like, I'm big bad dragon lady. I will flatten the army. Like it felt like a cop out. I am with whoever commented that. I'm so sorry I didn't read your name. I was super mad at how overpowered Zoya was and how Lee broke the magic system and didn't have any solution as to how to fix it in a satisfying way.
I mean, the world building is essentially that emotional constipation prevents you from activating your full dragon powers. And once you let go of your emotional constipation, then you can be the dragon warrior.
Should we talk about David?
Dude, David's death seems so random. It kind of felt like she knew she needed to have a big character die to increase the emotional stakes. So she was like, who do I care about the least among the cast? It's gonna be David.
I think it's also because she knew that David had like a weird amount of fan base.
Does he?
But like not being developed. Oh yeah, people love David, especially after the show too. I don't know why. I don't get it, but I've seen so many people be like, "Oh my god, David."
He doesn't have I guess I don't know.
But yeah, it just felt so random and like did not emotionally. I guess because it made Genya sad or Genya, or we've had this discussion before. I don't know. It's Genya.
I think it's Genya.
Well, it's Genya in my head.
Okay.
Anyway, it made Genya sad, which is like, that was too bad. You know what? I like Genya. I like her.
Well, I was crushed for her. I didn't really care if David died.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Kind of like with Matthias, it was more like, damn, I feel worse for like Nina.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh my god. I cared more in this book when Hannah died, or I thought she died. When
I thought she died, I was like, dude, can Nina like not get anything good in her life? Like, must she always suffer? But then like later when you see the prince, and I was like, wait a minute, what if she did some weird tailoring thing? And I was like, oh, all right.
I didn't put it together until Nina put it together, and I was like, oh my god. But when Nina saw Hannah, or was walking up to like Hannah's body before she saw it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be the mom, like the mom's gonna be dead or something. And then it was like,
that would be weird if it was the mom.
Yeah, like I was like, Hannah's dead. I screamed so loud.
Hannah became a MILF instead.
I mean, yeah, but anyway, oh fuck. I almost cried. It was weird. And I don't know why I cared, but anyway.
So yeah, how did you guys feel about Nina finding Joran and that whole thing? Because I thought that was very convenient. But I also thought it was interesting. I just don't think it was like explored well enough, you know?
Yeah, I do think it is convenient, but I feel like the author probably added it because she felt like it was necessary for Nina to have to grapple with, like, because she never really got that closure, you know, of Matthias dying. Like, no one knew how he died exactly, or like who had shot him. And so I think like seeing his murderer is kind of like, it's like the ultimate test of whether Nina can move on from this or grow, where she doesn't succumb to her like instinct to kill him, but like will listen to what Matthias said.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think her heart was in the right place. Like, I would have loved to have a proper, like, her reckoning with her emotions and her finding her. I don't think that it was well enough. Like, I don't think it was explored well enough. It was just like, I want to kill him. Oh, maybe he's not so bad. Kat?
Oh, sorry. It was a little late in the book for me, and I think I agree. I think it wasn't really explored well enough, because what ultimately makes her decide that Joran's not so bad is that he like helped Hannah. So it's like, you killed one of my lovers, but then the other one you saved. So therefore, like it just, I don't know, it felt a little bit too like the parallels were a little too perfect for me.
I feel like if she had found out about him earlier, and I feel like that could have been a lot of the arc in this book, was her reckoning with closure and forgiveness after finding out that this was, you know, because it's one thing for Matthias to be like, you know, look after the Fjerdans and have mercy and have forgiveness in your heart when, you know, you don't necessarily know how he died. It's a full other thing when you're actually confronted with the actual killer, and like have to reckon with that and Matthias's wishes, like, which she definitely tried to do. I just don't think there was enough time to do it well and properly. But
yeah, I understand like her intent, but yeah, I don't think it was fully developed. I think what you suggested would be interesting if she had known about the guy earlier, and then it's like she has to choose between like, oh, now that she knows his name and where he might be, she has to choose between like tracking him down and having some revenge plot or focusing on like the main mission at hand. Cause then that would be like a way for her to like, you know, challenge herself with whether she wants to succumb to like her instincts to kill, you know, the Fjerdans or, you know, be the bigger person, essentially.
Yeah. And I think because that's the other thing, her story overall, just like why, but in this book in particular, like at least in the previous book, like she had a very clear mission in her, you know, of what she wanted to accomplish, which was like save the Grisha that we were being dosed with Parem in the like secret lab or whatever. In this one, she's literally just like going on a little side quest. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to convince the queen to not kill the Grisha and do some magic show trickery and, you know, try to destroy some letters and whatever. She's just like wandering around, bopping about, doing her thing. So I think it would have been more interesting having something emotional for her to like grapple with as a character, as the through line of it all, and also just more of a purpose in general. Like, yeah, I think trying to accomplish
the whole Parem thing could have been like her main plot, because I feel like that was a more engaging, you know, problem to deal with,
especially as someone who had like been dosed with Parem and all of that. I feel like her and Joran and her dealing with Parem, like, listen, I'm happy for her, happy she found her happy ending. I just feel like it, like, I didn't care for like another Nina love story. I more cared about her and like her doing personal growth, and I just didn't get that in this series, you know?
She has so much character in Six of Crows. Like, she's such a powerful force within the group, and so like she kind of gets squandered in this series, and it feels like, I mean, I know King of Scars was a little bit different and she had more of a direction, but in this book at least it felt more like she really was just there to be like, we remember her, you know, like don't forget about Nina, that whole thing. So yeah,
I was gonna say it's like Cassie Clare, she just can't stop writing in this world. Lord,
it's true. Okay, I was writing like a whole Goodreads review when I finished, and then I didn't do anything with it because I was like, this is incoherent because I have too many emotions and I hate the book, but I love it. But anyway, I closed it off with like the fact that this is really turning into like a Shadowhunter. Like, it's not a series anymore to me. This is like a fucking saga. You have to have read all the things and you have to remember all the things, and going into it and not knowing all the things, you're going to be just lost. And I like multiple times throughout these long 600 pages, I was sitting there and I was reminded constantly of how many books have come before this and also how many books are probably going to come after it, because especially with the little cliffhanger thingy at the ending, like, I'm going to read it. You know I'm going to read it because I care deeply about the Six of Crows duology, but like, what? It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be Six of Crows or Crooked Kingdom or, you know, any of the other high points of this Grisha series, because like, I feel like Lee has progressed past the natural endpoint of writing these characters, and as much as we all love them and we're all still jazzed about them because of the show and like all that stuff, like it's time to move on.
Well, that's the thing. I think it would be fine if she's stuck in the universe, but realized where her strong points were and focused more on like little stories in this universe. Because I get not wanting to like create a whole other fantasy world, like start from scratch, but just do Six of Crows stuff and like do a new group of people every time. Because the more she writes these characters, the more I'm like, stop.
It just gets really It gets convoluted. There's moments where they're out of character, and people who are like diehard fans, which granted I'm not really anymore. I'm clinging on to the fandom because it's just hard for me to remember what the fuck is going on all the time. But like, it's not fun anymore unless you care super deeply about whoever's on the page. And it would be better, in my opinion, if she were to, like you said, like bring in different people and try and do different stuff. Like it would be different at least. Because that's another thing that crossed my mind. I was sitting there, and I know it's not Grisha, but I was like, I didn't love Ninth House. I gave it 3 stars, which is the same thing I gave King of Scars. But I would have preferred the Ninth House sequel because, like, at least it's new people and a new kind of story, and it's different.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything that you two have said. Where, I mean, like, it's what I meant by, like, in the beginning of the live show when I said that Lee Verdugo is like getting her coin and she's just adding more and more books into the Grishaverse. Like, especially with like the Netflix show too. Like, there is an opportunity for her to kind of just like stick within this world and keep continuing the characters, because it is just like an easy way to keep it going because people will read it. I like how like all 3 of us are resigned and we're just like, we're not going to like it, but we're going to read it anyway. But yeah, I do think just following a different group of characters, but within the same world would have been way better. And it's the thought that has crossed my mind in the past before, because I feel like what you have already written of the characters, like in Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, like their character arcs are done. You don't need to, try to change anything or add anything onto it. Like, don't mess with perfection. This is the closest to perfection you'll get. And so starting over with like a different group of characters would have been better, because there are so many other types of Grisha out there. So we could have like totally explored like someone who has a totally different set of powers entirely, or someone who lives like someone who's like a Shuhan, like there's so many like different, little subgroups, and we don't get to see like any of that. Like, you totally could have like mixed and mingled totally different groups of characters and it would have been super fun.
I feel like a story that was about Mayu from the start, and like the Tavgarad and her brother getting stolen and all of that. If that was an actual proper story, because in this it felt like really rushed and was like, why is this? But if that was the actual story and it just followed Mayu and like her entrenched in these like kind of complicated politics in Shuhan, which we know Leah's not great at politics, but there's like the sisters that are the 2 princess sisters that are fighting for, vying for the throne, and she's the guard of one, but has loyalty to the queen, and so grappling with that, and the other Tavgarad, and then her twin brother, like that would have been interesting, because then there's like some moral conflict, like, do I support the queen that maybe just stole my brother? That would have been spicy. And like having also the other stories of like the other, Tavgarad in the group, and like having that been the group, that would have been some spicy shit. And yeah, I just think that would have been better.
Yeah.
Mayu was an interesting character, but I got annoyed isn't the right word. I was annoyed not with her as a like character, but more with like the writing, because
I was annoyed with her as a character.
Okay, well,
yeah, I just didn't care for her at all. Every time I saw a Mayu chapter, I was like, oh god, I gotta like flip through this just to.
In the book, I didn't care about her because every time we got to her part, the plot would just come to a halt, because it was like a lot of like exposition and backstory, especially like her first chapter where she was explaining the whole like, this is where I grew up and this is my brother and blah blah blah. It was super rushed, like Jordan said, but she could have been so interesting had she had been that. Oh my god, words. If Lee had built her like she normally builds characters and like slowly, it was just so like
she was there to like serve a purpose. The premise of her was really cool. The execution just did not happen because there was like 5 chapters from her perspective in the whole book.
Yeah, you're halfway in the book, the plot's building, and then all of a sudden it's like, and now we're going to travel over here to this person who you've never really heard from or cared about before, so she can tell you her entire life story. And I was like, oh, okay, fine.
I actually kind of want to talk about Princess Aerie and that whole plot, because I think honestly, that made me realize something about Lee Bardugo's writing, which she's gotten away with thus far. She got away with it in Six of Crows, and I think I know why, but she did not get away with it in this book, in my opinion, which is that she does this thing where she will reveal, and it was because it was Kaz. Kaz was basically the only one that did this in the Six of Crows one, where she will have the character that you're following. You're supposed to be in their POV, and they will reveal something to you. So, like, in this book, Nikolai already knew on the wedding day that it was Genya and David's wedding, that Eri and Tamar were on their way to Shuhan. Like, he already knew all this stuff, even though we were following his POV, and he was withholding that information from us and then revealed it to us at the same time that he revealed it to the Shoe Queen. Mm-hmm. That, in Six of Crows, because it was just Kaz that was doing it, and he was this mysterious figure, I think she gets away with it. In this book, I got so frustrated because I was like, how am I supposed to know, like, how close, like, am I not in these people's heads? Like, are they withholding information from me? And it became super frustrating for me because I was like, I don't know how much you're actually telling me now. Like, I don't trust it anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was like conveniently left out. Like, I think it was weird that all of a sudden Nikolai is a little bit of an unreliable narrator, only when it was convenient. When all the other times, he was upfront about like all the other things that he knew and was feeling.
But it wasn't just that. I think there was something with Nina too. And I'm trying to remember what it was. But she did it a couple times in this book where, yeah, she would withhold the plan.
Yeah.
And then reveal the plan when it was convenient. And it was like, if we are in the heads of these characters, we should know what the plan is, and the plan should go awry. That is usually how it's done, and that is more satisfying than, because now I don't trust what I know, you know?
I wish I didn't need to have a plan in my head, and then when it actually happens, I can be like, oh, I actually had it in my head all along.
That would be nice.
I was that smart, but I just didn't tell you all.
Yeah. Kat, thoughts?
I mean, I didn't even really catch that, so yes. I sure.
Something that I did feel like just about the characters in general, since we're talking about like all these different perspectives, is I do feel like what added to the book being more convoluted, besides like trying to expand the magic system, is just so many like perspectives that, like, this duology is supposed to be like following Nikolai, and it didn't really feel like it was Nikolai's story, because you have so many of these other characters, like all these side characters like Mayu, but then other characters from other books that have to be integrated within the story as well. And I feel like you lose the focus of like the central characters that would have been more interesting to explore more in depth. Like, if it were more focused on Nikolai and Zoya, I think I would have had my interests fully engaged, like more so throughout the book, rather than like trying to cram in all these characters from all these different books.
Yeah, I agree. Not only, but most of what I really cared about outside of like shock factor and general enjoyment of like drama was Nikolai and Zoya, like when they were together or even when they were apart, because like we already knew them and were connected with them and blah, blah, blah. But like, okay, yes, Zoya was more a main character than Nikolai in his own series. That's true.
Yeah. But I kind of also saw like if Nikolai is the main character, then Zoya is like the other main character, you know?
Oh, yeah, I mean, yes, yeah.
But yeah, it would have been nice to see more of them or just explore more of their storylines. Because, you know, the moments that they had together, I really like those. You know, like the part where the two of them were just lying together and he just decided to straight up tell her how he felt. And he was suggesting, like, what if I wanted you as my queen or whatever? I was like, ooh, I think I was gasping out loud because I was like, oh my God, he finally said it. So yeah, that was nice. I like their little tension going on throughout the books.
Yeah, I thought so too. And like, that's another thing where like, again, I feel like if they weren't bopping about all over the world, going to church, going to wherever. I just think that if we'd taken Nina out of this and it had been about them and their like little circle, and we had the same kind of character development, because we didn't have character development for Nikolai either. He was, and I think part of it is that he like deflects with humor. That's like his character trait. But when that's the case, like it becomes very hard to like go deeper and get to know this character. So I feel like if it had been a more like contained story about Zoya and Nikolai and their group trying to do good for Ravka or whatever, and then like, then the romance would feel more developed. The tension would feel more developed. His character hopefully would have some sort of development. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he always deflects with humor, which is like the charm of his character because relatable. But I think there could have been more development with his character, because at some point there reaches like a tipping point where you can no longer deflect with humor and you have to deal with like the consequences of whatever. So it would have been nice to see that.
Yeah.
But again, my issue is like Leigh Bardugo is not good at writing politics. She's not. It just feels like very elementary. Like
this should be like a drinking game for anyone watching the live show. Take a shot every time Jordan says Leigh Bardugo is not good at writing politics.
She's not. Like,
shot of water or you'll die. Thank you.
The issue is like the other nobility. Who are they? There's like Count Kerrigan. That's it. That's it, baby.
All I know about him is that he dresses weird. Like, every time.
Like there's no winning over different, like, and there's always the mention. Oh, we can't piss off the aristocracy and the nobility, and oh, we got to keep the people on our side. What people? Do they even exist?
The people.
The
Side
people.
note, speaking of Kerrigan, I was so confused because, okay, I wasn't really confused, but like, it just felt weird that on the show, there's General Kerrigan, and then you read the book, and then there's Count Kerrigan, and you're like, wait, are they the same people? No, they couldn't be, because it's spelled differently. So that was just weird. Yeah, it would have been, so to your point about Leigh Bardugo not being great at writing politics, I think if she had focused on her strengths, in my opinion, her strengths are like building characters, and she has great like dialogue and banter between them. I feel like that was so much of the charm with Six of Crows, because it was much more of a character focused story. So yeah, I feel like if we had just focused on a more contained world with those characters and less about like trying to cram in saving the kingdom, saving the world, expanding the magic system, it would have been a lot better.
But again, I feel like she's not good at writing politics. So even if it was focused on those characters, especially because Nikolai is all about the deflecting and charm and all of that, like I don't feel like he would be that good of a character to base it off of, unless we did get to see a side of him. And I think the opportunity for his character, like an interesting thing to do with his character, would be the struggle with identity. Because you see that with him being a bastard and not knowing his father, and growing up believing one thing and then finding out later that that's maybe not who your family's not maybe not who they say or whatever, who you believe them to be. But then also with the demon, like if it had been about identity, that would have been one thing, but he's just confident in himself the entire time. He's like, listen, bitch, I am who I am. Like, nah.
I think that's what Leigh Bardugo was trying to do, because she mentions a lot about like his different identities, about being a king or being a bastard or being, a pirate or like the demon or whatever. But I think because she's had to juggle so many other things on top of that, we don't really get it explored. Personally, if I could choose, I would rather not follow any characters who have already been established and just start over with a brand new character. Let's follow a shoe girl from the Shoe Han. She's like part of the experiments, and then you could still have cameos from established characters as well, but they don't have to be like their own perspective, or like you don't have to force a plot line or whatever. Like you could follow Shoe Girl. She's part of like doing like the experiments with Parem or whatever. So then you see Nina, because Nina's trying to like stop this shit. So yeah, would have been fun.
I completely agree. Again, I think like a story based on the idea of Mayu, not actually Mayu, because she was just like, the issue with Mayu is like, she was like, oh yeah, no, I'm just kind of along for the ride. Like, you guys do your thing. Oh, there's my brother. Oh, isn't that nice? That's nice. Like, she's just like going with the flow. She has no agency, you know. She's like, I'm just here. I'm just chilling. Just trying to find
if she was written better.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, the idea.
More.
Exactly. The idea of her character was really good. Like, there's a lot of interesting dynamics there. And like, I think there's a lot of interesting tensions and conflicts between who she owes her allegiance to and who deserves her allegiance. And like, that could have been really well done and explored. And also because the, you know, the kind of Kargood or whatever were established in, I think they were established in Six of Crows, right? Or was it just the Param? Anyway, regardless, that's something that like could have been explored a lot, having her twin taken away. Like, that would have been such an interesting story if that was like the main thing. But yeah, I agree. Like, it should have been more, because she can be good at writing action and she's very good at writing plot twists. And like, you know, doing things that are a little bit unexpected. And yeah, focusing on character and smaller stories. It's just this like life and death, good versus evil, big bad war, politics, that she is just not cut out for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's a question that Alex Walker asked earlier. What did you think of Nikolai's father just being there? It was all right. I blinked, he was there. I blinked, he was gone. That's how I feel about it. I know why she probably wanted to bring him in, just so that we finally get closure for who his father was and whether he's a bastard or not. But at this point, at the point that we finally met him, I just feel like the story was so convoluted in the first place. I was like, all right.
I feel like it was confirmation enough when we met the other dude, like Demidov or whatever, who looked like the thing, and we were like, they look nothing. Okay, yeah.
But now you gotta be 100% sure.
Oh no, of course, because like your readers aren't intelligent enough to put that together. You know, you have to like prove it to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of things with that. Like Demidov, why is he there? Why is he there? I get like the threat or the idea of the threat to Nikolai's throne, but again, the identity thing doesn't really come to play that much. He doesn't end up doing anything, and then the dad doesn't really end up doing anything. He breaks himself out somehow. How did that happen?
What happened there? Because Nina was like, "I'm gonna go get him," and then all of a sudden he's gone. How did he get out? That's a story I would love to know.
Yeah. Also, just like, I love how in Six of Crows, it's like, this is impenetrable. You cannot get through the ice castle. Like, that's it. It's crafted so that it's impossible. And Nina and Han are just like slipping in and out. Magnus Opger is like, peace, ladies. Like, hello. Like, everyone, like, it just kind of guts Six of Crows a little bit, because you're like, oh, is that easy?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Women just do it better. That's the lesson.
And Magnus, apparently.
Yeah, and Magnus. Women and Magnus.
That's the exception.
Yeah. I just feel there were so many things. There were so many things that she just brought up and tried to do in this book. And it was like, also like her converting the queen to be like, saints, and also you know, whatever, Grisha deserve rights to the queen. Like, when did that come into play?
I wonder if like the book became so convoluted because like I'm trying to like put myself in Leigh Bardugo's shoes, where like so many people are super into the Grishaverse, which is like super successful. You have a Netflix show, and I'm assuming with authors like her, they have to pump out like a book like once a year. So I would imagine that she probably didn't have enough time to fully sit through like what would be a good focused story. And she kind of had to work with the tight timeline that she had. And she was thinking like, okay, what does everyone want? I'm gonna put it all here in my little cauldron. And was Nina really a girl boss though?
We need Carly.
Zoya's more the girl boss.
We need UnCarly on this thread to confirm whether Nina is a girl boss.
I would say Zoya is a girl boss. Who is gaslight? Who's gatekeep? And who's girl boss? That's the question.
I just feel, I don't know. I feel like none of the characters, like Zoya, I feel like had the most of an arc out of the 3 kind of main ones. But even then, like obviously hers was about finding acceptance, like, and accepting herself and like finding community and letting the community in. But even then, like, I feel like in the first one, that wasn't really something that was explored from what I remember. I barely remember the first book. It was mostly just them like playing in sand castles with dragons or something. But I just, I don't know. I feel like if that had been like her overall arc, that would have been better. But also just, I don't know that, I feel like it all just happened at the end, you know? Besides the moment where with the Suli and on the like spy.
Yeah.
That was like the one thing where I was like, okay, this is like working towards that kind of theme.
Why would Alina be gaslight? Unless she was the one who was gaslit?
Yeah, she was gaslit. Oh, okay, wait. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I see what you're saying.
Nina's gatekeeping waffles. She didn't eat a waffle the entire book. That's what was missing.
She found out that Hana like had never had a waffle and decided to stay with Hana. Like, is that reliable? Is that a good relationship that you're getting into with a person who's never had waffles?
I kind of didn't really. I mean, I'm glad that Nina is happy, but I didn't really see. I don't know. I feel like there's not much substance in Nina and Han's relationship beyond just like being attracted to each other, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think Hana was only Hana because she was what's his name's daughter, and that was like her big importance. And then Nina just kind of fell into her orbit, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we love each other," and I was like, "Okay, like I get that."
Okay, I feel like we should probably use they for Hana because
that's a good point.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I just feel like while they were very supportive of each other, the two of them, and like clearly they were into each other, I agree that they didn't really challenge each other in any way, if that makes sense. Like that was nice about the relationships that we saw in Six of Crows, because they all challenged each other to grow in one way or another. Like if anything, Nina kind of made Han grow. Definitely like brought Han, gave Han a little bit of confidence maybe.
Yeah.
Nina, this is trying to get me to remember King of Scars. Wasn't Nina like the reason that Hana found out that they had Grisha powers?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that was like the extent of their. I think I mean, not that I don't want them to be together. I'm okay with their relationship. Like I feel positively about it. But like, what am I saying? Oh, I feel like it also, there's so little like kind of substance at times where it almost seems like in King of Scars, Nina could have crossed into like Hana's path and learned whose child she was and then been like, you're a Grisha. And then like that could have been it. And they could have like kind of parted ways. And like it wouldn't have been any different almost. I don't know. Does that make sense? Maybe?
Yeah, I feel like that was also, I feel like I understand the reason to try to, Leah is obviously trying very hard to like be inclusive and explore, you know, different identities in her books, but I felt like also it was very unclear, you know, like obviously I understand that in this world, they're probably, especially in Fjerda, they're not really progressive, so like maybe you know, we would have no, they wouldn't have that conversation. But I feel like they would have the conversation about pronouns and like all of that stuff. Like it just felt like because we're seeing it from Nina's perspective, Hana's like identity, it just felt like we just see that Hana is unhappy with their identity, but we don't really get a proper exploration of it. I just felt like that could have been really interesting and done better. But yeah, I just don't feel like them together really did much for me, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about Han's gender identity, I assume that's kind of like up to interpretation. And I'm okay with that not being like explicitly spelled out. At least they're happy with their new body. But yeah, it would have been nice to have that hinted at more earlier. So then it feels more satisfying for them to like be where they are in the end.
Yeah. Also this, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I am a hoe for like not one true love, but like I was a hoe for fucking Nina and Matthias. I'm sorry about it. Love story, I loved that love story. And like I want happiness for Nina. I do. However, can we grieve for a moment? I'm properly
let a bitch grieve.
Seriously, I'm like on to the next already. Like,
yeah,
happy for you. However,
I am not opposed to Nina and Han either. I don't feel, but I think part of the reason why I don't really buy into Nina and Han's relationship like as much is because not only do I feel like, to what you said, that they don't really challenge each other as much. We also feel like, I also don't know, I don't have enough of a reason for wanting them to be together other than I just want Nina to be happy. And then also like, yeah, Nina just lost Matthias. So
yeah.
Yep.
I think there's like a time jump. Someone mentioned that it should have been like a year. The King of Scars is like a year after Matthias.
Yeah, but a year is still not that long.
The reader, we don't because we don't get to see it. We don't get to process that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think a year is long enough because, like, I don't know, for you to like love someone so deeply, you can't get over someone in like a year. I mean, she's never gonna get over him, but like, I don't know. I still feel like a year is too soon.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I guess it's time for Fuck, Marry, Kill. Who are we doing this? I feel like we got to include some of the new.
There are so many options.
There are so many options. We should
wait. We got to make sure the characters. We got to make sure the characters are of age so that we don't get in trouble.
Are they all like in their 20s, or am I reading that?
Or are they all 16 again and just act like they're 30?
I think they're all in their 20s now, right?
Okay, good.
Okay, we're safe.
I've been reading this as them all being in their 20s, so if I'm wrong.
Me too. By the way, would this be new adult now? Or is this still young adult?
I feel like it should be young adult because it feels very young adult.
I mean, okay. It feels young, like it feels very juvenile in the like writing of it, but I get all my information from Goodreads. I was looking and like people are putting it in lists that are new adult. So I think it's new adult. Just based on
I think it categorizes both.
Old. I don't know.
I don't know. All right. Nikolai, Zoya.
I feel like we gotta include one from each. So one from Fjerda, one from Shuhan, one from Ravka.
So Han.
Okay.
Mayu.
Mm-hmm. Can it be like Aerie or someone? Like someone with
sure.
A little spice. Maybe the queen, the grandma. I don't know.
Grandma.
Mayu doesn't have a character. Let's be real.
Oh shit.
Okay, Mayu, Han, Yuri. Oh no, not the duckling.
Ew. All right, kill Yuri.
Obviously.
Easy.
Put him in the tree or whatever.
Marry Han. Wait, is Mayu of age? I'm very paranoid about this now.
I don't know how old she is.
I will kiss Mayu.
You're okay, yeah.
Han, Aries, Zoya. Ooh.
Okay.
I feel like Zoya would be a good lay.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe some lightning, fireworks.
Sparks flying.
Sparks flying. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like definitely. Okay, in my mind, it would be Mary Han.
I would marry Han. I would lay down with Zoya. I would kill Aerie.
We didn't get much from Aerie, but I liked her is the issue. I thought I liked her because she was like the sweet one, but then she had depth, you know? There was hidden morsels of something in there. Whereas like all the other characters felt very straightforward. So I was like, so you know what? I would marry Aerie. I would bang the shit out of Zoya. And I'm so sorry to do this to you, Hannah, but
hasn't Nina been through enough?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Nina can bury Han and just apparently find a new love interest right afterward.
The dad? Ew.
Ew.
Zoya as a dragon?
This one's for you, Kat. This one's the one you're doing.
All right. Okay. I'm thinking, well, okay. You cannot not kill Yellow Broom. So that's obvious.
I know what my choices would be.
I'm scared to hear them. I'm marrying. No. I'm gonna marry the grandma because that seems more stable, and then I'll just fuck the dragon.
Yep, that would be my choice as well. Because at least if you bang the dragon, you have a story to tell.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a story. Okay. She can be with me. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh my God, no.
Oh no.
True.
That is, yeah, you'd get written into that will for sure.
Except then you'd have to like fight Maki for the throne.
Oh, I could take her. That would be very easy. I feel like she doesn't have a lot of muscle.
Who's Leonie? I like literally don't even know who half of these characters are. Is the issue?
She one of the?
Is that Adric and Leonie?
Yeah, yeah.
But like, who are these people? Who are they? The issue, yeah, is like there's all these side characters. I feel like it's just Nikolai and Zoya that actually have character development. We only know Genya and David because of the original trilogy. Like actual character in this, they just vibing, you know? Like they are not.
Well, they just had a cute scene so that we cared when David died.
True. But like Adric and Leonie and like Toya and Tamar even, I'm like, these characters exist.
Wait, Leonie is the child Jesper's mom died saving? When?
What?
Wait, see, this is what I'm talking about. I don't remember shit from the previous books. Like I don't remember any of that. Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
No recollection here.
Oh.
What? Oh, yeah, that's because Kat deleted her Twitter and then someone else took the Sleeping Crowns so we never changed it.
Yeah.
Apologies for that. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I would have loved for it to be a lot smaller and more contained and to actually get to know some of these people and who they are. Because like, but there was moments that I liked. Oh my gosh, Zoya's garden.
Oh, that was so cute.
That scene when Nikolai comes up, that was emotional.
Yeah.
That was the one bit in this book where I was like, maybe I will pop a tear. Maybe I will.
Oh yeah, and then when she gave Nina the flower that was like Nina's flower, that was a moment.
Oh, I did like that.
We love a little cottagecore moment.
There's like bits and pieces that I liked. It definitely felt like Star Wars in that it was just like fan service for you. And for you, and like just keeping everything like very interconnected. But yeah, but there was like, especially I feel like in the middle, there was like little pieces that I liked. I honestly, the Shu Han side quest felt very silly and useless. However, there was some moments in there. No, you know what? I didn't like it. I'll be honest, but I did like some of the characters in Shu Han, namely the princess. And
I'm telling you, we should have gotten a Shu Han spinoff.
I agree.
Good. There's so much to work with.
Would have been so good.
Okay. Since we are getting this Six of Crows 3 tease, I genuinely hope that it's only Kaz, Inej, Jesper, and Wylan, and that they take.
What about Nina?
And we've gotten Nina. We've gotten Nina. We have gotten so much Nina. We don't need her.
But then there's going to be only one girl in the heist.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they should bring in some new characters and new opportunity for, like, I would love to see more Kuei, get him having a whole moment, or just literally just bring some new characters in and like have them be part of the Crow gang and like see how that affects the dynamic. Because like obviously Leigh Bardugo wants all her characters to have happy endings, so that means that there's not that much room for development for the Six of Crows characters, because Jesper and Wylan are just happy together, and Kaz and Inej are not together, but care about each other still. And it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
I want to see Kuwait burn things. Yeah. Ooh, Nikolai's sister. You know what? That could be interesting.
She'll definitely appear in the future book.
Yeah, she got
for
named
sure.
She's obviously coming.
I would love for some fresh meat to be brought to the table, you know? But like properly developed, not a Mayu situation. Like some
that meat has to be marinated.
Yeah. Like even if Jesper and Wylan are there more for fan service, and it's more about the new characters, I would be okay with that, you know?
I think a good level of cameo is, I know we were all excited when Inej actually like shows up in the end, which like, because she's the best, but like I would be okay if the cameos were kept at the level of like when Nikolai and Zoya were in Kerch and they were talking to Kaz and they referenced like the Wraith, like we all know who that is, and like I was like, yes, like I just want to hear about her you know, fucking up the seas and like taking down bad bitches and, you know, like doing her whole thing, and like that's enough. Like I didn't need to see her. I'm happy we saw her because she's the best, but that's the level of, that's all I need, really, you know.
I agree with this comment. Six of Crows doesn't need to be expanded.
I feel it's like basically confirmed that it is though, right? Like, I mean, based on the ending of this and then also what Leigh has said. Yeah.
See, Kat, it happens. People do like David. For what? I don't know.
They don't even know. They don't even know.
I'm not going to argue with you, but I just...
See? I told you.
Also, David's death was so anticlimactic.
You didn't even see him die. It was just like, there's the building. Oh no. Genya's like, David. And then it was like, dead. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this duology didn't need to happen. And if we do get more books, I do hope it is contained like Six of Crows was contained. It is more character driven. It is action-y, because that's what Leigh Bardugo is kind of good at. Like action-y in that it's very like fast paced. There's twists and turns. There's like adventure action moments, but stays grounded with the characters. Like that's what Leigh Bardugo is good at. So I hope moving forward that that's more of what we get.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. Cry. I cried at random times too. It's fine.
Well, someone's gotta cry for David.
Yeah.
Sparkling at his sister?
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought she was dead.
I don't want anything to do with the Darkling.
No, we're done with that.
He's not coming back though. It's basically confirmed. Because
Let him chill in the tree.
Okay, but then the conversation at the end where they were like, do we want to be like, when's the point where he becomes the victim? Like, we need to and like get the oh no wait, because that's the whole thing. They're gonna go get that dude's heart or whatever. See, I'm catching up. I read it like I barely.
I just like let him suffer. He offered. Let him suffer. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but I guess it was like a morals kind of thing where they were like, and like, is it really an eye for an eye?
I don't know. I just wish that like someone's story in this world could actually finish and then like let someone go.
Yeah.
Like, why were Alina and Mal there? Especially Mal. Alina was just like,
what did he do except call the Darkling an old man and then just walk away?
I mean, isn't that all he does in the story?
If that's his entire contribution, I respect it because the Darkling is old and dusty as fuck. But also, I didn't want to see him. I was so pissed when he came on the page.
Well, I really like him on the show, so I was just like, all right, I'll just imagine him as Archie.
He's good. I've heard he's very good.
Okay, what are your thoughts on this as people who don't read fantasy a lot?
I don't think there needs to be, there doesn't need to be magic. If the story is better without magic, then you don't need it.
Yeah, magic is confusing to me a lot of the time, so maybe it would be better, and I would like fantasy more if there wasn't so much for my small, tiny brain to keep up with.
I don't mind fantasy light or whatever, magic light fantasy. Like Game of Thrones, the first 3 books, there's like not that much magic. It's literally just like there's some dragons and some ice zombies. And for the most part, it's just like politics and family drama. And I'm like, I'm here for it, man. We like her. But also magic can be done well, just not in Lee Bardugo's world.
Chanel said, please release us from the shackles of the Darkling, Lee. Dude, seriously, stop trying to make the Darkling happen. He's not going to happen.
What is she? He confuses me because it's almost like she keeps bringing him back, and yet every time he comes on the page, every character just like has their moment of just like bullying the fuck out of him. So it's like, we all hate the Darkling, and yet he never goes away, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, the Darkling is the kind of guy that like walks in a room and everyone groans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wait, there are mermaids in the Grishaverse.
Okay, if there are mermaids, again, why couldn't we have a book about literally any other character?
Where are the mermaids? Oh, can we talk about how that weird fold thing that was like taking parts of the world out, they suddenly started calling it a vampire? That confused me, because when have we ever heard about vampires in this world ever at all? I don't know. I just thought that was odd.
We got to expand this series somehow.
Do we need to expand this
series? So maybe there are like all these Grisha and vampires and mermaids, and then there are hunters that have to hunt them down. But maybe they can be called shadow hunters, you know?
Crossover.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine a little crossover moment?
Oh my god. Dude, that book would be like 1,000 pages long.
Oh my god. Alina and Mal meet Clary and Jace.
Oh gosh.
Oh god.
Couple is staler. Ooh. In the air.
I hope that what happened to the I mean, the issue is like the shadow hunters never had a bop in the same way that this world had a bop, you know? Like
2012 YA would disagree. How did what's the one that everyone loves? The one with the clockwork in it that everyone like
Clockwork Angel.
That's the one.
To be fair, I never got there. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be.
Slut for that series.
But my issue is like, when will because Cassandra Clare will never stop. She will never stop. So like, when will Lee, you know, is she going to do the same thing? Is she going to run her into the ground? Are we going to get like the same thing that Stephanie Meyer's doing, and just like, let's do the original trilogy, but from Mal's point of view.
I'll read that. I would rather die. That's a nightmare. Oh my god.
She wouldn't be that obvious, but she would just give like new unnecessary plots to existing characters.
Yeah, I just like I don't want. I would rather Lee move on and like do the ninth house thing and like.
I want to see my demon husband, who is. Come on.
Do not remember what happened in ninth house whatsoever at all.
I only know we're going to hell, and honestly, that's enough to get me on board. I'm there.
True. Speaking of which, when the second book comes out, we should absolutely do another live stream.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the Lee Bardugo live stream only.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a couple questions in the chat asking if like we were going to make this like a monthly thing now. I don't think that will be the case just because like life in general, but we will definitely like do future live shows for like anything related to Lee Bardugo as much as we, you know, gripe and complain.
I'm really good at complaining. It's one of my special.
We still give her coin though, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I like we all said, we're gonna keep reading these fucking books.
Well, yeah,
probably, but
we'll support her.
I just like I'm waiting for her to do the thing again, and she hasn't. But maybe one day she will.
She has the potential.
We know she's done it once. It could happen again.
She's done once. She can do it again. She just needs us to advise her. No, dude, if she had listened to what we said about a whole new group of characters, I think that could have been a bop.
I think so too.
If she ever does it, it will be. There's no way it won't be. Well, I don't know. It could be.
So I guess my last question, because we should probably wrap this up fairly soon. My question for you ladies is the show. What did you think?
I'm done with the show.
Oh, okay.
It all.
Oh my God, Kat, you're even more behind than I am.
I'm really out of the loop. I am not on top of my game.
I have only watched the first 3 episodes.
I've heard that everyone's hot. That's enough to drag me in. I'm good.
Everyone is hot.
Well, clearly not enough to drag you in.
I'm getting there. I move slowly, but I am slowly but surely working my way towards it.
Jesper is so good. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Jesper. And Inej. And you know what? Mal. I just like the guy.
I really like Mal. I was thinking about him like today when I woke up and I was like, oh, Mal. Wonder what he's doing now.
Archie Renault is maybe the best looking man I've ever seen. He's a kind of guy that would be like your classmate in school and you would have a crush on him. You know, he's more like an attainable kind of crush. Whereas like the Darkling, I don't know. He's not my type at all, but he also seems like he would be like your teacher in the classroom. So I don't even know why like you would have a crush on him. See, Freddie Carter was the only one where I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
So I started watching this with my friends from college who have not read the books. And so we watched the first episode. And when they saw Freddie Carter, one of them was like, oh, is that the Draco Malfoy character? And now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, he just looks very punchable is my issue. Is that too mean to say?
Fair enough.
I don't know. I feel like Kaz is such a hard character to pull off, and I feel like Freddie didn't have the mystery that I wanted him to.
I think Kaz is the kind of character who I can't really imagine as a real person.
That's the issue, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Inej is perfect.
Inej is so perfect.
Wait, look at Chanel's comment.
What?
He looks like Willy Wonka.
Well,
thank you for ruining that for me.
Because of the top hat.
Does he actually wear a top hat? Oh, no.
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay. I can't wait.
That makes me take him less seriously.
Oh no.
I mean, glad it wasn't Cole Sprouse like we predicted.
I don't know. Maybe he could have really changed the game for us. Maybe Kat would have watched the show faster.
Yeah.
I will neither.
I am still holding out for Cole Sprouse as Yost, as Juiced.
Oh. Yeah.
When the casting information drops for Used, I will be there. I will champion that. I will champion that actor until the day I die.
Oh yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, I've been keeping up, Cindy, with your videos, but let me know your thoughts. Not Cole Sprouse as Nikolai.
That would be so funny.
Oh, that would be so bad. Anyway, you will have to let me know. But I think we should probably start to wrap things up. Thank you both so much for doing this little reunion live stream. The moment Rule of Wolves came out, I was like, ladies, we gotta get on this. Like, this is our time. Because yeah, I've missed speaking with you both, and I had so much fun talking with you guys about this.
Yeah, it was nice just reuniting everyone and catching up again.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think that's it. Yeah, I guess thanks to those of you who tuned in and came out. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you with another. Oh, go Kat.
I'm sorry. I just saw someone say KJ Appa as Wylan.
Absolutely the fuck not. That's the end of that's all I have to say. Okay, thank you, goodbye.
Yeah, no, that.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in, except for that person who said Papa.
But yeah, hopefully next time Lee puts out a book, you will see our faces reunited once more. And we'll try to make sure Zach is there next time as well. That'd be nice. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming, and it was so nice seeing you ladies. And yeah, Kat, you better watch that show and let me know what you think.
I will text you immediately, and I will also tell you all of the things that I hope I'll be thinking about Mal's character now. Like, he's so hot, he's so fine.
He is hot. Yeah. All right. Everyone, have a good evening, morning, night, wherever you are. Enjoy your lunch. Cindy, did you eat? I was watching. How did I miss that?
You were so passionate about talking about how Lee Bardugo doesn't write politics well.
I was getting everyone drunk.
Everyone is wasted now.
On the floor.
Everyone go drink some water, take an ibuprofen, you'll be fine in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.